Chapter 6. If a week is a long time in politics, then a decade or two is definitely a long time in music. Who knows, given the right sort of collective brain transplant, in the years since the last gig, the musical offerings of Bernie and the Burning Bograts might even have become chart-toppingly fashionable. Certainly one can but speculate on what might have been their fate if a well-connected talent spotter had been in the audience on that long-ago January night when the Bograts last played live. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bograts have just left the building. And so on. The mind indeed boggles. Instead, no doubt aware that the practice of creative incompetence wasn't an ideal strategy for winning friends in the music industry, and, for the most part reluctant to take it all more seriously, the Bograts decided to call it a day. By way of setting an official seal on the demise of the band, September the 3rd, 1988 saw the Bograts coming together in their original stomping ground, Leigh-on-Sea, for what was billed at the time as the Grand Parting of Ways gathering. However, even this seemingly definitive closure was not to be the final word. In a move that inevitably invites one to recall the Flogging a Dead Rat video subtitle, a CD of Bograts music was given limited release in 1999. Simply entitled The Bograts Album, this brought together the complete soundtrack recordings from Bog Life, plus a representative selection of tracks from both the first and last gigs, which capture the atmosphere at both events beautifully. Also included were a number of studio recordings resulting from further collaborations between individual Bograts between 1989 and 1992, suggesting that plenty of untapped musical potential remained. Notable amongst these new recordings was an exceedingly wacky version of Tree Climbing, a ruthlessly heavy rendition of Ant Attack, and perhaps the classiest Bograts recording ever, a Delta Blues version of the Glover-penned classic She Said. The latter was recorded with a certain Mr. Latin Tongue Young guesting on vocals, harmonica and nose trumpet, along with Mike Hadlow on vocals and bass, and Razorfingers Jimmy Green, they say he's from the East Side, on guitar, playing along to Bobby Joe DeGoyne, the drum machine. This veritable treasure was followed in the 2000s by the posting of selected tracks from the album on the internet. Then, in the 2010s and 2020s, Bernie and the Burning Bograts belatedly got their own YouTube channels, so bog music finally became accessible to prospective perusers around the world. Although the chimera of fame and fortune were not to be the Bograts' fate, there can be few bands that never got anywhere that are as fondly remembered by detractors and supporters alike. One can imagine the strength of feeling at both ends of the spectrum of opinion. Probably the worst band in the world. No, make that definitely. And did Led Zepp play Under River? No. Did the Bograts? Yes, I rest my case. Certainly those who were there, even if only in some small way, now know that they were part of something special, even if they didn't at the time. A musical adventure, a legend, a crock of shit, a load of fun, whichever way one looks at it, Bernie and the Burning Bograts were a phenomenon. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of Bernie and the Burning Bograts.